Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, TikTok, are these really the future of the internet? Platforms that have been designed to keep you hooked on constant stimulation, to segregate you into whichever echo chamber the algorithm decided your demographic was most likely to keep watching, aiming to keep your attention within the confines of their platforms for as long as possible so that they can serve you as many ads as possible. Have you ever caught yourself scrolling and realized you're not even enjoying your time? The reels you're watching aren't even interesting, and yet you can't seem to stop. When we scroll endlessly, are we really exploring the World Wide Web, or are we being herded like cattle into digital cages? I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, and I can tell you that the internet used to be a place of self-expression and exploration, with fewer borders, fewer walled gardens. When I was around 10 years old, I spent my time on the computer making my own websites on Xpage, GeoCities, and learning HTML on Funky Chickens to customize my Neopets profile. I grew up when direct messaging was done through AIM and MSN Messenger, and I don't recall those ever having some crazy microtransaction shop or leaking sensitive user data. What I can tell you though is that the internet was a different place back then. It was slower paced, it was personal, it was creative, and it was social, even without social media. We didn't have to deal with these giant conglomerate platforms that we had to sign up for just to stay connected with our friends. Instead, people just made their own websites and they linked to one another. The social internet felt more intentional. And people, not platforms, owned the internet. Standards and user expectations were different back then. And even when MySpace arrived on the scene, we were still given complete control over the appearance of our profiles. Fast forward 20 years later, and everyone seems to be stuck in the confines of the same large apps and platforms, complaining about or just accepting that we're being harvested for our personal data to sell to advertisers. Meanwhile, our attention spans are being hacked to keep us on the same few platforms for as long as possible. And they don't even let us decorate the style sheets of our own digital holding cells. Social media platforms and their algorithms seem to have not only sucked the soul out of the World Wide Web, but soon will be forced into handing over our identities just to participate. What happens to the old internet? Did it really die? Or is life and hope still out there somewhere just a couple clicks away? Welcome to my website. Yes, my personal website with silly little JavaScript games, half of which are broken, and a bunch of pixel art that I spent way too much time working on in Photoshop. Not for profit, but just for fun. Working on this website has been one of my favorite hobbies for the past 3 years. It's kind of a secret. I hardly tell any of my friends about it, and no one in my family knows that it exists. Maybe because I'm a little embarrassed by how childish it looks. But it's my website, and it's under my control, and its creation was fueled by passion and nostalgia for the internet of my childhood. And compared to my time on Facebook, Discord, and Instagram, I have never been more satisfied with my online experience. This is my little corner of the internet, and I am free to do whatever I please with it whenever I want. I even get to write about my personal projects away from the eyes and ears of big tech platforms. But the crown jewel of the entire site, the center stage of it all, is this humble chat room. Yes, a real live chat room. This chat room is what I care the most about. It's why I made this website, to relive the glory days of old chat sites and web cafes hidden in small, unknown corners of the World Wide Web. A place where web traffic trickles. A place where, if you're lucky enough, you might stumble into a deep conversation with a stranger you'll never see again. Or if you're really lucky, keep running into the same regulars and make new friends. A place where there's no pressure to be anyone else but yourself. A place of serendipity. A place where you can be yourself, be anonymous, and not be forced to sign up for an account. And about a dozen times a day, someone will stop by and say hi in my chat, and I'm always thrilled to see it. So who are these people? Well, they're certainly not the friends and family who I haven't told that the site exists. I don't spread my website in Facebook groups, I don't post it on Discord servers, and yet I get dozens of visitors every day. Where are all these people coming from? Well, my website happens to be just one of thousands upon thousands of personal websites that are online and active right now in 2026. And just like back in the day on the internet of old, we all link to each other, we all visit each other's websites, we're all web surfing the net looking to see what there is to discover. Look right here, I have my own links page and I link to my net neighbors and they link back to me. These people in my chat room are web surfing. They're on a journey across the internet, and my little chat room is just a short and sweet resting spot to hang out for a moment during their adventure. People come, people go. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to see them return. Many of these visitors have websites of their own, which I visit too. And all of these websites are a part of a larger movement movement away from big tech platforms, a movement that has been growing momentum since around 2016, a movement which has been coined as the web revival. And right now, we're on the indie web, which is essentially a massive network of personal websites that are all owned by individuals like you and me. You can join too, even if you don't have any coding experience. So many passionate people have made setting up and coding your own website easier to understand and begin doing than at any point in the past. And there are thousands of people from all walks of life with all kinds of different interests working on their websites right now. There are so many coding tutorials, example layouts, and pre-made templates you can begin with, and a handful of decent web hosts that will host your website for free. If you're into home servers, you have the additional opportunity and excitement of hosting your own website on your own hardware. How cool is that? But you don't need expensive hardware to create and maintain a website. You can do this with just internet access and any old $20 computer. My buddy Melon has a tutorial on his own forum about using old MacBooks as website making machines. One cool thing is that you don't even need to give away your identity just to make one. All you need is a valid email address to sign up for a web host like NeoCities or NicoWeb. And the best part of all of this is that every detail about your website is under your control. This is your platform. You make the rules for your website and you can take as long as you want to make it. My website isn't even close to being finished. It's been a work in progress for over 3 years now. But then again, I don't know if anyone ever really finishes their personal site anyway, or if they even need to. Personal sites seem to evolve continuously over time. They grow as you grow. They grow with you, and you can change them and transform them to be anything you want whenever you want. Heck, you can even have a dozen websites if you'd like. Alright, story time. How did I even find out about this? Because I didn't even know this was going on until December of 2022. And like I said, this has been ramping up since at least 2016. Once upon a time there was, or well, there still is, a website called lowtechmagazine.com. Just a heads up, because this website is solar powered, it goes offline sometimes. How charming is that? What is lowtechmagazine.com? As you can imagine, it's an online magazine with articles about using old technology and low-tech solutions in the modern age, and it's actually really interesting and kind of an inspiring website to browse through. I know I'm not the only one who feels this way, because once upon a time there was also a low-tech web ring, a fan-made web ring inspired by Low-Tech magazine. I must have spent like a dozen hours on this page alone, just because every time you click one of these links, not only is there a potential treasure trove of interesting information, but each website links to like 30 other websites, and then those all look interesting. So then you end up going down this rabbit hole where you're opening 50 new tabs every time you move to another website down the list. Each link is like a portal. So be warned, don't be like me, don't open 50 tabs. Take your sweet time, savor this journey. Of course, I was so thirsty for this kind of content that I didn't want to miss a drop of it. And so I tried to visit every website that I stumbled upon, and it was like trying to drink from a fire hydrant. I didn't mean any harm, I just didn't want to miss any of it, because there are just so many unique, fascinating, and beautiful websites out there, made by people like you and me. This is the intentional internet. It felt like I had found a side of the net that I hadn't seen in decades, a part of the internet that I thought was gone for good. And as I made my way down this list, eventually I reached the website of Melon King. And this was the website that really brought me back in time, capturing the essence of my childhood experience on the internet during the early 2000s. Melon is an artist, truly an artist, and the experience he created with his website is more than just an artwork. He's cultivated a community via his own retro web forum. It was on his website that I learned about the web revival and how so many websites just like these were popping up every day online. His platform and his creations are what finally sold me on joining this movement. It's when I decided I was going to make a website of my own. So on January 1st, 2023, I signed up for an account with a static site host known as NeoCities, and I built myself a basic template, found a little chat box service that I could add to my site, and thus my chat room was born. Anyway, I have learned so much since then, and the stuff I've discovered thanks to these online communities has led me into so many new hobbies. It's really been an enriching experience. It got me into 3D printing, it got me into microcontrollers, it got me into refurbishing old ThinkPads. And that means, dear viewer, that yes, I may have never even began this channel if I never learned about the indie web. And of course, what ultimately keeps me coming back for more is the community. The people that I've met, the conversations that I've had, the friends that I've made. The social experience of the old web is what I had been missing for so long. Yes, the pace is a little slower here. If Discord or Instagram are like New York City, the indie web is like the countryside, dotted with small towns and villages. Chat room activity can trickle, but like I mentioned earlier, things feel more intentional, more deliberate. The indie web is a place to connect, a place to create, a place to learn new things, a place to share information, a place to write about anything you want to write about. to make anything that you want to make. And if you're watching this, come say hi, not just on my website, but visit Kuroi OS and read her blog. Visit iSmile's Internet History Museum. Visit Kali's tea room and wish her well. Read some silly goose facts. Check out the art of truly talented pixel artists. Browse retro hardware collections. Leave some messages on some random websites. Listen to a public indie music stream that's only up once a week. Sign a random guest book or two. The point is, you don't even necessarily need to make a website to be part of the indie web. Just come join us and help make it special. I grew up making websites. It's actually how I met one of my best friends in 2002. We still talk almost every day, nearly 25 years later. Right now he's working on his first multiplayer browser game called Heartlands, which you can play for free in your browser. Just go to this website and sign up for an account. It's a creative sandbox game where the entire world is made up of blocks that are drawn by players. It's really chill. It's an active development. My friend's been working on this almost every day for like over a year now. So make sure you go play, leave some feedback, he'll be glad that you did. As for making websites just for fun, this is something I stopped doing for a long time and it's great to be back at it. And if you think you want to make your own website, there is this huge list of helpful resources on a single page compiled by the 32-bit cafe community. It has links for anything you can imagine when it comes to building and running a website on the indie web. I'm going to put this link in the description of this video so that you can access it easily. As far as free hosting goes, I recommend using NeoCities. If you have a recommendation, just throw it in the comments below. Oh, and this is kind of random, but if you're quitting Discord, you can use Discord Chat Exporter to archive any chats that you want to save, and then you can use Discrub to easily delete all of your messages. It takes a bit of time, it's like 3 seconds per message, but it's automated and it works inside of Brave, so I just kept it running for a few days in the background. It got rid of over 100,000 messages of mine. Who knows how data storage truly works over at Discord, but any potential avenue for removing your data off of their servers is worth a shot. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. I hope I was able to open a door for you to discover something fresh, new, and exciting for you today. And if you decide to start your own indie web adventure, I wish you all the best on your journey. If you happen to have an old ThinkPad, that is the perfect website making tool. And if you're watching this video on that old ThinkPad, you have internet access. You have links to all the resources and free web hosts. You've got everything you need to get started, so have fun, get excited, get started, take care.